we're making lasagna. One of my favorites. I love good Italian food. So, what we have is our sauce that we made last night. We have lasagna noodles in boiling, and you want them really under al dente. You don't want them really that cooked because you're going to layer them in the pan, put sauce on them, and bake them for another 45 minutes. And if they're fully cooked when you do that, you'll get mush, and you don't want mush. And I have hamburger and Italian sausage here in the pan cooking down to put on the lasagna. Now you may say, oh my God, that's an awful lot of meat for a lasagna. Well, I'm going to make a couple lasagnas and I'm going to freeze one. The extra meat and sauce, I'm going to freeze that too so I can make more later. It's such a complicated process and so many steps. If you can take care of them right away and have them on hold, you'll be good anytime you need to impress somebody with your lasagna. I'm going to salt and pepper my meat because that's what I always do. You always add a little bit of extra flavor to it. Some noodles I've already cooked off, and as you can tell, they're not fully cooked. Again, you don't want them overcooked. And there goes my timer, because I've also got my bread in the oven. A couple nice loaves of bread to go with my pasta. Look how beautiful that is. Now we come to assembly. In your pan, I'm using a foil pan, so it really makes cleanup easy. Just toss it when you're done if you want. First thing we're going to do is spray the bottom of the pan with oil. Not that we're worried about stuff sticking to the pan as much as for cleanup, but you don't want this beautiful lasagna sticking and you not being able to eat it. So we got that sprayed. We put in a layer of sauce to cover the bottom. All those nice big chunks of veggies in there. Whoa. And then we layer in our lasagna. Just a sheet to cover everything. Look how nice it is. And then more of this delicious sauce. Just enough to get it wet. Your next step is going to be your first layer of cheese. With a ricotta, just take and put dollops throughout. This is going to melt down. You don't want to try and spread it. You'll just make a mess and it won't get you any further. And then a layer of meat. Now our sausage and burger is, we break it down as fine as possible. We don't want a huge layer of meat on here. We just want a flavor bomb. So sprinkle your meat all over. Okay, you may be saying, well, that doesn't look that hard. Well, it isn't. Even though it is time consuming, it is really easy. And if you're looking to impress that certain someone, this is the way to do it. Lasagna, sauce, cheese, meat, and repeat. Your next layer, cottage cheese. I know what you're saying. Ew, cottage cheese? Oh, trust me. It's perfect for lasagna. Yeah, well, you know, people eat cottage cheese on a diet. Trust me, this isn't diet food. Sugar-free, but not diet food. I wish it was. I'd be on the lasagna diet in a heartbeat. And then we add more of this meat. Another layer of lasagna noodles. If your pan's bigger than this, feel free to overlap them and all. It won't kill it. A little more sauce. While you're doing this, you want to make sure your oven's on 350, warming up. I just took bread out of the oven, so I just left it on. You want to get all those lasagna edges covered so they don't burn. Although the little crunchy bits of noodle that show up, oh, I do love those. And now we're going to top it. We finish off our lasagna with a nice layer of mozzarella cheese. This is going to melt down. Cover this, give it a nice browning. A little bit of crispy cheese on top. We really have not even got it in the oven yet. And it's all I could do not to grab a fork and just dive into this. The smell coming off it is wonderful. Now make sure our cheese isn't going over the edges. We don't need it melting in the oven. And that's really all there is to it. With a foil pan, I always put a heavier pan underneath to keep it from burning. You know, you want to even the heat out a little. And besides, you can splatter sauce all over the place, which I normally do. What I really need in the kitchen is somebody to clean up. But you do what you have to do. Now we're going to put this in the oven, 350, 45 minutes. We'll see how it comes out. 45 minutes is up. We grab our lasagna. This is reason 2 for putting a heavy pan underneath the foil pan. When you pick up the foil, it bends, you get it all over you. Now that is bubbly heaven. And I tell you, you can do this with a plain jarred sauce. Makes it nice and simple and easy. But these are recipes in romance. And if you care about somebody, you take the time and you take the effort for them. That's the key. And making this sauce, really stirring once in a while, hanging out, waiting. So it takes 5.5 hours. You could start it early morning, it's ready for dinner, and you have locked a place in their heart with this lasagna, guaranteed. Now the only thing left is waiting. This has to cool enough so that you can cut it and it doesn't run all over the place. With cooking, patience is number 1. Same as with romance. You have to have the patience and don't rush things. But, oh, it's so hard not to dig into it. Absolutely no one can tell you that's not a sexy looking dish. And it's guaranteed to melt somebody's heart.